Hey there, and welcome to Dobby's Repairs. In this video, we're going to be replacing the outer CV joint on the driver's side of this MK2 Ford C-Max. It's a bit of a challenge, but I'll show you a few tips and tricks to get it done. So grab your tools and let's get fixing. So the first job is to loosen the axle nut. This is a 13mm. Yours may have a central hub cover in the middle there. You have to take the wheel off and remove first, but this one didn't, so just break it loose with a 13mm. Now we're going to remove the wheel nuts. This is a fairly straightforward procedure on this car. So you just whip them out. Some of the forward lug nuts can swell up, so you may need a different size socket. They do sell them. Just look it up and you'll be able to find the right sockets for yours if you have got swollen lug nuts, which is a very common problem with these Fords. Yeah, we've got the wheel off, as you can see here. Now wheel's off, we're going to make sure it's safe on axle stands. As you can see, there's the axle stand, nice and secure. You always want to work with your vehicle on axle stands so you're nice and safe. Now we're going to start by removing the lower ball joint. As you can see, a bit of penetrating oil goes on first, and a wire brush to give it a good scrub. I did the wire brush off camera, but just scrub it off with a wire brush. You may notice that the brake caliper and brake disc is off. That's because this was also filmed alongside a wheel bearing change. So I had to remove those to remove the wheel bearing. But this is another job alongside it. And now we're going to work out this 21mm nut. If yours starts spinning while you're doing this, you can always hold it with a 6mm hex in the middle there, a little hole for it. And yeah, just work out nice and easily. It can be a bit stubborn sometimes, but the penetrating oil really helps. I'm using DP60 as my favourite, not sponsored or anything, but it's a really good oil. And now we're going to use the ball joint tool to break the ball joint loose from the steering knuckle. I really do like using this tool, I've used it on many jobs. It makes short work of these ball joints. All you have to do is just tighten it down. If you're interested in this ball joint tool, there will be a link in the description alongside all the other tools that I use. And yeah, it's really handy. And there's broken loose now, not the camera over at the same time, which is always typical. Now we can use the handle of my breaker bar just to pull it out and get it up free from the steering knuckle. So yeah, just push it down and pull it away. And that's that part free. I should also mention that I removed the axle nut completely after this, but I didn't film it, so the axle nut's now removed. Sometimes these CV joints can be really stuck. This one is moving, so I'm quite lucky. And yeah, I'm just going to use the end of my breaker bar to push it all the way out in a moment. That's also another good tip. Just give it a good old shove like that and it pops out normally. And now it's free. We can move on to removing the CV boot itself from the CV joint. So I'm going to use a screwdriver here and just get it in under this little clamp and twist it. So you're twisting it back and forth and it'll come loose, and then you can just pry it off. Again, these can be a bit tricky sometimes depending on the style of clamp they've used before. You can also cut these off, but I find it easier with a screwdriver, less hassle. And that's the first one off. Just pops off nice and easily now. Now I'm going to remove the rear one. You can also rotate it around and give yourself better access, as you can see me doing here. Now I'm just going to pry it like I did the front one. Then the back one a little bit smaller, so a bit tighter and a bit harder to get off. Yeah, just keep prying it and it'll pop off eventually. I'm not a big fan of cutting these, so I don't want to damage the drive shaft itself. But yeah, just keep prying it and it'll pop off eventually. And there we are, it's almost off. And it should just pop off nice and easily now. There we go, and that's loose. And out of the way. We're going to be replacing all this anyway. Now I'm going to push the CV boot back, free it from the knuckle. Now you can do one or two things. I'm going to cut this one off here, but you can just leave it on, just tap the CV joint off first, but I'm going to cut it off to give myself a bit more room and a bit more access. I'm using a pair of scissors here. You can use a sharp knife. Anything that's sharp really you can just cut it off with. I'm going to pull it a bit as well, just try and split it. This CV boot's quite tough. Normally they're quite worn out and just fall apart on you. But yeah, just chop it with the scissors. They're not the sharpest scissors in the toolbox. And yeah, we just keep cutting away at it until we get it off. I'm going to come in with a bit faster footage now just to speed things up for you. And once we get it split off, just move a bit more of it. And yeah, just keep chopping at it. It's quite a messy procedure, as you can see there's a lot of grease in here. Once you get it all chopped off like that, it's off nice and easily now. I will move on to the next step. So now we want to make sure the CV joint is as straight as possible. Make it all nice and parallel. And I'm going to grab my hammer and just give it a gentle tap, and it pops off nice and easily. There's a little retaining clip in there that we need to remove in a minute. But as you can see, that's the old one off. So I'm going to give it all a quick clean up. And then still clean it up a bit more. Just to get all the grease out of the way. Again, there's quite a lot of grease in this, so it can be a bit slow. A bit of brake clean to help clear off the grease as well. And you can see just at the end of the drive shaft there's the retaining clip we're going to be removing in just a moment. They can be fairly fiddly little buggers, but once you get it all cleaned up and there's no grease around it, it makes it a bit easier. So I'm going to be using a pick for this with a little angle on it. We just want to hook it in under the gap in the clip. And then once we get the pick in there, we can work it round and pry it away from the drive shaft, being careful not to damage any splines or anything. As you can see, I'm starting to move it now. It will rotate a bit as you do it, which is always a pain in the bum. But yeah, as it rotates round, we'll get it off eventually. There we are, it's about to come off now. You sort of get a feeling of when it's going to come off. And there we are. And it will fly off when you pull it off, because they always do. Luckily we've got a replacement. Pick it up. That's the clip we had to remove. Now I'm going to put the CV boot back on, the new one. And you just slide it on nice and easily. Give it a bit of a twist, I find the easiest way. And then we're going to roll it up right out of the way, so it's not in the way of us putting the new CV joint on. That's it, nice up there, right up out of the way. Now I'm going to put the new clip in that come in the kit. Just let me get it out of this little bag. And yeah, just get it out of the bag and we'll pop it on. They can be fairly fiddly to put on, and they do tend to fly off sometimes. Just have to be careful with it. And literally all you have to do is grab it and just squeeze it on. And it should just pop on nice and easily. But they are sometimes a bit of a fiddle, like this one's going to be. And make sure you've got nice non-greased up hands when you're doing this, best you can, and they goes on like that. You want to align the little gap at the bottom of the clip. Now we're going to grease up the new CV joint. I didn't cut a big enough hole in it. That's a much bigger hole, and you want to use about half the packet of grease that comes with your CV joint in the actual CV joint itself. And we just want to work it in. I'm going to use a bit of a screwdriver here just to work it in all the nooks and crannies. Get as much of it in all the spaces as possible so there's no dry areas. It's not an exact science, but just get the grease everywhere you can possibly get it. All around all the ball bearings and everything. And now, as you can see, I put a cable tie around the clip. This helps installing it much easier. And now we're going to put the new CV joint on. With the cable tie there, it just holds the clip in place as you're pushing it past the splines, so you can get it on nice and easily. And you'll hear a nice satisfying clunk when it goes in all the way, and you know when it's seated, you'll hear the noise. And there we are, it's on now. Just about. And yeah, that's on now. There we are. Nicely clunked in place. And yeah, now all you have to do is cut off the cable tie. As you can see, there's the cable tie itself. I'm going to use my little pry tool here just to pry it back away from the back of the CV joint. And then get my scissors in here. Just make a little slit. You can also use a knife or anything on here. It's quite awkward because there's not much room. But once you get a slit in the cable tie, you can use your pry tool just to snap it off. It's a really handy little thing, this little tack puller as it's called. And now we're going to move the CV boot back in the right place. Get it all lined up. Get it all nice and in position before we put the rest of the grease in it. And again, yeah, just pull it forward, get it all lined up. There's a little divot on the back of the drive shaft for the rear part of the boot. I'm going to put the rest of the grease in. There's quite a lot of grease left to go in here really. We just want to fill up the boot and the back of the CV joint. I'm going to speed things up, just so you can see it. And you get an ample amount of grease in the packet. If you do want to use any extra, make sure you use CV grease, like this stuff here. It's quite thick, coarse, normally black. This is kind of a grey colour. And now we're going to position the boot and get it all in right place. As you can see, there's a bit of grease popped out. We'll just wipe that off. Now I'm going to put the new CV clip band back on. This is a crimp style one. So we'll just hook it round and get it on. Once you put a few of these on, it's fairly easy to put on. I always like to put my front one on first, just because I like to be able to let the air out the back of it. So you'll get your crimping tool now and just crimp it down. And it goes fairly simply, really. These do have a tendency to break, so make sure you've got a spare as well, because it's always handy. Yeah, just give it a good squeeze until it gets nice and tight and you can't squeeze it anymore. That's the front clamp on. Now we'll move on to putting the back one on in just a moment. Just adjust the camera for you. And there we are. There's the back one going on. I'm going to let the air out of it now. So I'll just get my pry tool in here and just give it a good squeeze, let any air out of the system, out of the CV joint. It's better for it, means your grease can get everywhere, there's no air in there. Now I'm going to use a slightly different style of clamp for the back here. This is a more easy to use one, I find. So we'll get it in there. Just tighten it around the back. And yeah, this is the one you tighten down with this little tool. Again, all the tools will be linked in the description. I have videos on most of them. I've done What's My Toolbox on, which is my series where I show you the tools I use. So both this tool and the other crimping tool I showed you earlier are in the same video, so it'll be nice and easy for you to find. And yeah, we can tighten it down now. It's a really simple tool to use. If someone's used clamps a lot easier than the other style of clamp. And just snap it off. And now we're going to quickly close the clamp up. And I do have to prefer the rear style of this clamp to the one in the front. I find they give me a better seal, but the other one came with it. And there we are, don't knock it down with a pair of pliers, because that's all I had to hand. And now we can start reinstalling the CV joint back into the wheel hub. So I'm going to quickly move the bottom arm out of the way. And just line it up. This can be a bit tricky because you need to line the splines up, and I didn't realise at the time the steering lock was still on, which makes it a hell of a lot more difficult. But yeah, we'll struggle around for a bit and then I'll realise. And yeah, you just need to twist it and line up the splines as well. That's another key tip. Yeah, just keep twisting it around and you'll eventually realise, like I did, that the steering lock's on. And just taking the steering lock off like I am now just gives you a lot more freedom and makes it a lot easier. And with the steering lock off, it just slides back into place nice and easily, as you can see here. With that on, we can put the lower arm back in place now. So again, we just need to pry it down, or push it down and line it up, and it should just quickly pop back in. They can be a bit stiff sometimes, depending on the age of your arm. If you've got new arms, they're a lot harder. And yeah, just slide it in and it goes into place. Now I'm going to get the bolt started, or the nut should I say. Again, this is 21mm. So we'll get it started on the top here. And then it's going to start to spin on me in a minute. So I'm going to use a 21mm spanner to start it. And after a few turns it will start to spin on me, which is very typical for these. So I'm going to get a 6mm hex. And then a 1/4 inch spanner to hold the ball joint while I tighten down the 21mm nut. So yeah, just get lining it all up now. Once you get it in place, it's fairly easy. And what you want to do is just wedge the spanner against the steering knuckle so it holds it nice and tight. You haven't got to hold onto the spanner then. Just start it with the 21mm and you'll find it tightens up nice and easily then. Like that. And then you can just tighten it down to your heart's content. I'm not going to lie, this is really slow with a spanner. If you had a ratchet in spanner like I had earlier, it would be a bit easier, but there's not much room. As you can see, this is a close up of what I'm doing. So there's the 6mm hex. And then there's the spanner and the nut itself, and you just tighten it down 1/4 turn at a time. It can be quite hard sometimes, but I'm going to speed things up and cut to the end. There we are, now it's fully tightened down. I'm just doing the last few tightening passes. Make sure I get it nice and tight. And there we are. And now we just need to remove the 6mm on the spanner. That's come out now, nice and easily. And now I'm going to put the actual nut back in, or actual bolt should I say. And this is again a 13mm. Okay, tighten it in. I'm going to over tighten this really, because they will just snap off and break. But yeah, you work it down, and then we're going to grab a ratchet and just tighten it down until it starts spinning. Now we're going to put the wheel back on and drop it down, and now we're going to torque it to 45 Newton meters. So again, this is just a matter of getting your torque wrench and set it to 45 Newton meters and torque it down. And there we are. Nice satisfying click. And now we just need to put a torque angle of 90 degrees on here. So I've got my breaker bar and my torque angle gauge. You can also mark it with a pen and go to 90 degrees or 3 o'clock. So start mark it at 12 and move it down to 3 o'clock. And that's how you change the outer CV joint on the driver's side with this MK2 Ford C-Max. Any tips or tricks you'd like to add, let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps both the channel and me out. If you're new here, consider subscribing. I post 2 videos a week, so by subscribing, you'll never miss a thing. Got any questions or suggestions? Drop a comment down below, and I'll do my best to reply to everyone. Here at Dobby Repairs, we're all about helping you learn how to work on your vehicle safely and showing you don't need to spend a fortune on tools to get the job done. Want to support the channel further? Become a member, starting at just 99p. Members get perks like early access to videos and more exclusive content. Keep fixing, and I'll see you in the next one.